Man, I blame this guy. What are you doing, man? Couldn't you have, like, given us 2 of something that didn't break the game? Like, I don't know, like an imp? That would make sense, because your breath smells like an imp. Hey guys, what is up? AwesomeTheSauce here. Welcome to a new video. I've been pretty sick and I also had to move, so I've been moving all of my equipment and stuff, and I'm really excited to record again. My man, are the crows just gonna... Look at the crows messing up my damn intro. So basically this list is gonna be a top 5 of spells in Wizard101 that have impacted the game significantly, whether it's in the past, whether it's recently, whatever it is, as long as it's significant for a certain reason. I thought I would look into it and see what KingsIsle did about that, or what KingsIsle didn't do, just to see how many broken things have been in this game before just, the 4-pip or 5-pip shadow spells, because there's a long history of this, and I think it's a very interesting one. So sit back and enjoy, my dudes. So, number 5 is the old Wild Bolt. Now, a lot of people might be wondering, there's an old Wild Bolt? I thought there was just one Wild Bolt. No, there actually was a different Wild Bolt. So the one that we all know and love today has a 70% accuracy with a 10, 100, or 1,000 damage. The percentages have still never been confirmed, but through experimentation, it's about a 1/3 shot. But the original Wild Bolt is very, very different. So basically, when Storm students initially learned it, it would always hit 1,000 damage, but it would do it at 10 accuracy. So, I mean, it's still better than the chances of me getting a girl anytime soon. So who's complaining, right? I'll stop. But people found a way to get the card up to a full 80% accuracy. And there was a good period of time when all you saw in the arena were Storms just chucking lightning bolts like there's some next demigod from the Percy Jackson series. Like, I'm not joking. I swear I was at Camp Half-Blood, all right? But, Wizard101 doesn't really like to give hand jobs to Storms that much, only to Ice and Balance. So as a result, it actually did get nerfed to what it is now. I mean, some could say that the Insane Bolt was supposed to make up for the nerf, but I don't think they ever made the percentages on Insane Bolt super clear, and it's also definitely a lot closer to a last resort than you would ever, you wouldn't spam it like they did in the good old days. So yeah, this was definitely one of those spells that really affected the game for a good amount of time, actually, until KingsIsle fixed it. Now, this is one of the earliest nerfs known to Wizard101, but it was such a severe issue that KingsIsle immediately nerfed it. So in that kind of way, if they haven't nerfed the shadow spells yet, that means they haven't had the impact on the community that things like 1,000 Wild Bolt at 10% did. So number 4 is elucidate. Now, elucidate is that one extra child that was an accident, but you let it stay because, you're not really bothered to do anything about it. You're just going to let it stay. You're going to ignore it until it's too big not to ignore. It actually briefly started as a trainable spell, but that all changed when the Fire Nation attacked. I'll stop. Oh my god. Rebecca, you're lagging me out. What the hell, Rebecca? It's my new computer back at home. I'm sorry. Okay. But yeah, people were straight up healing for free with pixies and stuff. There's all kinds of broken things going around. So KingsIsle decided to not screw up the game majorly, but just kind of majorly. They just wanted to compromise, I guess. So this started an entire hidden market for elucidates to be sold to a select few people in the Wizard101 community. Now, is this a good thing? Really not, because it's more of a pay-to-play. But basically what happened, some people, like a select few, they would pay people to quest throughout the entire game, all the way up to Celestia, and then you would basically, give them the elucidates, and you get paid for questing up to Celestia. So yeah, people quested up to this guy, and that's it. They had 2 elucidates per character they quested up here, gave it to their customer, they got a lot of bank off of it. Man, I blame this guy. What are you doing, man? Couldn't you have, given us 2 of something that didn't break the game, like, I don't know, like an imp? That would make sense, because your breath smells like an imp. Okay, I'll stop. But the only people that really still have them are, really corrupted people. They're corrupted. Except for me, obviously, because, I'm your boy. So, I just have ninja-like reflexes in the bazaar, I enter my Zen state. I snag elucidates like they're whiz-babes in the commons. Sorry, elucidate changed the game for the worse, basically. It essentially gave some people the ability to spam it, even though they're super rare for other people to get. Because most people, if they even quest up to here, you know, they'll still only end up with 2s. So it's a very small number of people who had a ton of them, which is very unfair. So King's Isle did fix that. So that's a very, very good thing from King's Isle to do. But that was certainly more broken and impacted the game more heavily than I would argue even 4 or 5 pip shadow spells. Number 3 on the list of spells that significantly impacted the game is Fire Beetle. Now, I know what you're saying. You know, why is this up here? Well, basically, people don't realize this, but this only came out and only became, like, actually readily available by the time Chrysalis came out. So literally every mob dropped it there. All the non-fire wizards just, you know, they kind of sold the joint, you know, and then, you know, all the fire wizards had a glorious circle jerk over a card that many people didn't realize would change fire PvP forever. So whether it's in combos with Rampage, FFA, Brimstone, even solid hits, you know, like a Frizzle, you know, the utility of the card is one of the major reasons why fire can be competitive at max level PvP even now. And adding on to that, there are also 3 different versions of these joints, all right? My man's is a triplet, all right? So basically, it gives you the ability to give someone like 3 times the ass whooping. That's like a lot of red burnt butts. I'm just saying. Okay, that's significant. Number 2 on this list of most significant cards to impact Wizard101 is going to be a surprise to you guys. So for the longest time, I mean, okay, maybe not the longest time, but there was a point in time where the Jade Oni was the last boss, you know? We didn't have Malistaire. So Earthquake wasn't available at that time, you know? Like, a lot of people were level 40 when they started Dragonspire. So Earthquake was actually, like, a new spell. And I guess King's Isle didn't really account for some of the things that you could do. Like, we're talking about ruining someone's day with them joints, all right? Like, the problem is 2009 is pretty much the last time King's Isle would ever give Myth a hand job. So, like, you know, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. What many people don't know is that Myth was actually a god at both 1v1 and multiplayer combats. Their double hits were, like, very, very overpowered back then. You know, they were the only 7-pip spell to be a single hit, and it was a double hit. It was very, very, very powerful. And then, you know, Earthquake for multiplayer. The reason why it was so insane was because Earthquake could actually remove stun blocks at one point, because stun blocks were just regular shields. So you could be in a 4v4 situation, and if you have a Myth on your team and you're first, or if you have a Myth on your team and the other team doesn't have a Myth on their team, you're just going to get Earthquaked into a Stormlord, Earthquaked into a Frost Giant, and if you had 2 Myths and then 2 offensive classes with you, that's it. That was an unbeatable 4v4 team. So that's when 4v4 relied on Myth. So the only problem is the other team literally couldn't make a move at all. So it's just called chain stunning, and it's literally, I've had that happen to me once, and it's infuriating. So yeah, it was one of the most significant changes to multiplayer, because suddenly Myths just came out of nowhere, you know, and they had the pedestal for a really long time. They kind of lost it after level 60 and level 70. Then other schools started to really get a lot better, like Balance and Ice and things like that. But Myth had its time, bruh, and it was all because of Earthquake. Alright guys, the last one, it's not that much of a surprise at all, you know? Shrike, bruh. You love it, you know, you hate it. You might be slightly attracted to the female version of it. I'm not gonna or not. I mean, I'm not. You perv. Stop. Okay, anyways. But Shrike was introduced mainly as a counter. Like, there's a reason why this is significant. It's not just because Shrike is just super overpowered, but it's actually because it served a purpose in PvP for a long time, and that's why it's still as powerful as it is. So, a lot of people complain about Shrike. I do too, but you have to understand that it was in the game for a very, very important reason, and that's because how PvP was before was really, really bad. So, before it came out, there were these things called turtle strategies, and they were super common up to when Tartarus came out. So what the turtle strategy is, you just have people just purchase a bunch of whatever the pack is and just get a bunch of Jade gear and then just wait out their opponent. And basically this is like a scumbag move, because there were no Pierce Jewels, there was no Shrike, there's barely any like Pierce was pretty much like just introduced like 10 or 20 levels ago, so it wasn't a big thing. So Jade wearers were essentially unbeatable from first or second. And basically, Shrike changed all of that. And you know what? I don't mind, all right? Ugh, the smug faces on those Jade Gear wearers. Ooh, I wiped that joint off. I'm just saying. But it did start on a kind of unfortunate pattern in how PvP is today. So what is that pattern? Well, we have an offensive meta. It's only going to get more offensive. You know, the equipment in Imperia gives less resist, more damage, more health. So it's basically encouraging you to just go for like a glass cannon approach. And honestly, it works. So people will do it, you know? But Shrike was the first time in PvP, in the history of Wizard101 PvP, that the tempo changed basically overnight. Once people found out how to counter it, fewer people started, you know, some people stopped using it. But it's still making a huge comeback now that 2 shadow pips are a thing, and you can Shrike into a shadow hit. Like, there are very few counters for that. Like, even if you're first, there's very few counters. So, yeah, guys, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I definitely want your opinions. If you have other spells that you think affected the game a lot more, just let me know in the comments. I'm excited to read what you guys have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm sorry if I sound like I have like sneeze juices all up in my sinuses, my throat. I hope you guys are okay with that. I just wanted to drop a video. It felt weird not to. So drop a like, drop a sub if you're new. And if someone hasn't told you're awesome today, they're doing something wrong. So stay awesome, bro. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, that was honestly not that bad.